अस्सलाम वालेकुम नाजरीन, आप देख रहे हैं प्रोग्राम एक्सपर्ट एडवाइस और मैं हूं आपका होस्ट शकील अहमद। नाजरीन, अगर इंटरनेशनल एजुकेशन की बात करें तो पाकिस्तानी स्टूडेंट के दिमाग में सबसे पहले यूएसए और उसके अंदर मौजूद वर्ल्ड टॉप रैंक्ड यूनिवर्सिटीज़ का नाम आता है, जिनमें हार्वर्ड, येल, स्टैनफोर्ड और दूसरी आईवी लीग यूनिवर्सिटीज़ शामिल हैं। सारे पाकिस्तानी ऑलमोस्ट जो भी इंटरनेशनल एजुकेशन के लिए इंटरेस्ट रखते हैं, उनकी एक ख्वाहिश है कि वो इन यूनिवर्सिटीज़ के अंदर दाखिला ले सकें। और इसके साथ साथ दाखिले के साथ साथ बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट जो एक ख्वाहिश और एक विश होती है पाकिस्तानी स्टूडेंट्स की कि वो इन यूनिवर्सिटीज़ से 100% स्कॉलरशिप्स ले सकें। अगर 100% स्कॉलरशिप नहीं, एटलीस्ट 50%, 75% स्कॉलरशिप ले सकें। तो आज हम डिस्कस करेंगे यूएसए की इन टॉप रैंक यूनिवर्सिटीज़ के अंदर एडमिशन लेने का, दाखिला लेने का क्या तरीक़ाकार है, किस तरीके से स्कॉलरशिप्स लिए जा सकते हैं और एप्लीकेशन बनाने के लिए, एप्लीकेशन लॉन्च करने के लिए क्या डिफरेंट सेगमेंट्स या पार्ट्स हैं जो किसी भी एडमिशन के लिए या स्कॉलरशिप लेने के लिए बहुत अहम किरदार अदा करते हैं। तो आज हमने स्टूडियो में इनवाइट किया है मिस कैथी को, जो एजुकेशन एडवाइजिंग डिपार्टमेंट को हेड करती हैं यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स ऑफ एजुकेशन फाउंडेशन इन पाकिस्तान में। A very blunt question and very important question that everybody here who is trying to apply to US universities, first they stop at MIT, Harvard, Stanford, and Yale.
Right.
So how one can go into Harvard, Yale, or Stanford at bachelor level? What are your advices for the people who are looking to go into Harvard, Stanford, or Yale, or the Ivy League universities? What you have to say to these students there?
I try hard to dispel the notion that the student has to go to one of these schools. There are so many fantastic opportunities in the United States. I myself went to a large state school and to an Ivy League university, and I got a great education at both. So the advice that I provide students who are interested in these schools is consider one or two of them a reach school and go for it, like go for your dreams. But they have to understand the acceptance rates at these schools are very low. The average grade point average and SATs are very high, and they're competing not only against other Pakistani students, but they're competing against the best and brightest American students, Indian students, Chinese students, German students, students from all over the world.
Competition is from all over the world.
Right. So there has to be something about their application that stands out. But there are so many universities that are not the absolutely most difficult to get into that still would offer a fantastic experience for Pakistani students.
That's great. Apart from this, I'm sure that students have come to know that it's not always necessary or it's not always mandatory to apply to these dream universities only. Rest, as you have mentioned, 4,000 other students, other institutions are there where they can apply. They are the best schools. They are providing the best quality of education to the worldwide students there. Apart from this, very important questions linked with international education is of financial aid or a scholarship. So how one can get the financial aid or the scholarship for US universities, because it's very important. It is normally believed here in Pakistan, most of the students, they think US is the only destination providing the maximum scholarships to the Pakistani students. So how one can get those financial aids or the scholarship if somebody is applying to the US universities there?
So financial aid applications are submitted separately from the common application. The most typical application is called the CSS profile, but there are others as well. And it depends on the particular requirements of the university. But one thing that we work with students on when we are considering which schools that they will come up with their list of schools that they will apply to is there are public institutions that tend to have lower tuition, and there are private institutions that tend to charge higher tuition rates. However, the private institutions often offer greater financial aid than the public institutions. So we encourage students.
So it's something new for me, and that you're mentioning private institutions offer more scholarship comparing with the public institutions.
typically that is the case at the undergraduate level.
So that's great.
If you see a university with a really expensive price tag, we encourage students not to let that scare them away, because what we have is, through the Education USA network, we have statistics on the average financial aid package given to students for different universities, and we will check that list with students to see if that school at least offers the type of funding that the student needs before they apply for that school.
That's great. So if somebody is applying for the Common App, meanwhile, they can apply on CSS application form, or you can say, so is that form available on the same Common App application, or it's a separate, they have their own website or something like?
The CSS application can be found on the College Board website.
All right, so that's on College Board.
Okay. And it's also important to note that financial aid is different from scholarships. So financial aid is need-based, and the CSS profile or the other financial aid applications are a form that the student's parents need to fill out to disclose their financial assets that will help the college or university determine what the student's family can afford. Scholarships, on the other hand, are merit-based and are based entirely on the student's grades, the student's profile in general, what that particular school thinks the student would bring to their campus.
So which one is, more in amount, if we talk about availability of financial aid or the merit scholarship? Which one you recommend Pakistani students to apply for?
Well, they should apply for both. And many colleges and universities give a combination of both. And with the combination of both...
So one student can avail two at the same time?
Sure. Like a university will offer a financial aid package that often, not always, but often is a combination of financial aid based on need and scholarships based on merit.
That's really great that one can enjoy both at the same time.
Right.
That's really great. If we talk about a good profile for a students to enter into the good university, they are to get the scholarship or the financial aid, something like this. One of the part of application is the extracurricular activities as well.
Right.
What is the weightage of these extracurricular activities in a special, or you can say in an application to apply for renowned institutions in US?
So it really depends on the institution, and one application that goes to this university may be accepted with full funding and goes to this university, and the student may not get acceptance at all. So it really depends on what the university is looking for.
All right.
But if we're talking about the elite institutions, or even not necessarily the elite institutions, but if the student is looking for significant funding, the student's profile really needs to stand out among the others. So if you imagine a university with thousands of applications and a limited amount of money to give out in financial aid and scholarships, that student needs to find a way for their application to stand out from the rest. So the baseline is a good SAT score or ACT score, and then add it from there. What, extracurricular activities might be one. It could be another special talent. Maybe a student is a musician or a dancer or a blogger or YouTuber, something that is unique and would provide something extra that particular university is looking for. So
internships are also very important?
Absolutely. Any experience. So compare a student who has very good grades and a strong SAT score but doesn't have anything beyond that to another student who has the strong SAT score, the great grades, and was student body president or the champion debater or a really good tennis player or something like this. That could tip the scales in favor of that particular student.
So an application is a combination of your grades alongside your SAT score, plus your essay, and importantly your extracurricular activities. So these all things contribute toward acceptance from the university.
Right.
So that's great. So it's not as easy as the students are thinking, that if they have got a good grades, so they think they will be an option, they will be having an option to go into the top ranked university in US. So that is not the case. They have to be well equipped in all different segments to qualify for the application process?
Well, if they're talking about competitive universities, but not necessarily the absolute most elite, they most certainly would get admissions to great American colleges or universities. But I think the difference is for students who need the funding. They need to show the university that the university wants that student on their campus. Because financial aid and scholarship is the college or university's way of saying, we want you, like we're serious. We want you to come to our school.
So a student has to tell to the university that I'm the one university need for me.
Yes.
I do not need the university. University is looking for me.
They need to show the university that there's something special about them. Yes.
Exactly. So then there are a chance to get the scholarship, the financial aids or something like that. In crux, if we come across to know that, what can make your application stand out?
So again, I would say there are students who have great grades, but they don't maybe delve deeper into their interest. A student that shows curiosity or ambition or initiative. So for example, let's say a school is holding some sort of community service event, and the student shows up for 2 hours on a Saturday and collects their certificate and goes home. That's great. But a student who actually initiated something or started their own program, I've met students who have started their own NGOs. One of them started collecting used soap from hotels to collect them to give it to poor families. Something like that shows something special in the student, that they dive a little bit deeper.
Fine. So let's connect these, this all information to the practicality of the student.
Yes.
As you previously mentioned that you're going to organize a US college fair here in Pakistan.
Right.
So this information could be converted into the practical implementations once they can visit you at different cities.
Right.
So this US College 2020 fair is actually for Pakistani students, as you are mentioned. More than 20 different universities are going to participate in this event. So tell us something about the importance of this event and why one should be attending the event here.
Yes, we hold these fairs twice a year. We hold fairs in Islamabad, Lahore, and Karachi, usually at one of the large hotels. And it's a unique opportunity for students and their parents to come and talk to the admissions representatives directly. I think that finding information online is great, but actually speaking one-on-one really can help.
Ms. Kathy, we had a very wonderful talk. We have discussed the different students' point of views questions who want to apply for US universities, who want to know about these common applications or something like this. The procedure we have discussed, scholarship, financial aids, very important, and psychological question with respect to Pakistani students. A lot more Pakistani students, they think and they are even believing it's very difficult to get US visa. It's difficult. The visa ratio is too low. So why is it so, and how one can win the visa? What are your tips and techniques to get the visa from US Embassy?
So in our experience, bona fide students that can go to a visa officer and explain what they want to do in the United States, what they want to study, how they selected that particular university, what their plans are when they get back, and how they're going to fund it. Students who are able to explain that to visa officers are successful with their visa applications.
So means the complete focus of students should be on those questions, those they are going to communicate it with visa officer.
They need to be able to explain themselves versus sometimes a visa officer will ask questions and the student doesn't have a clear answer. How did you select these universities? How are you going to pay for it?
They actually want to explore a student, either he is a genuine one or not.
Exactly. So and can they afford it?
So this is the reason that so visa officer is the important personality that who has to assess either you can get a visa or not. So am I right?
Yes, you're right. But they have certain laws that they're working on or working according to certain laws. and they are looking to ensure that students that come to their window are bona fide students that have a good understanding of why they chose the university and how they're going to pay for it.
That's great. Ms. Kathy, thank you very much once again. You have joined
Thank
us. You have been discussing on different things related to student education and study in US. In the end, if you have any message for Pakistani students, so we would love to listen from you.
Well, I would recommend that anyone who's interested in studying in the United States register on our website for EducationUSA Advising Services. Our website is USEFPakistan.org. There are tabs for the fellowship programs for like Fulbright and UGrad. There's a tab for standardized testing for anyone who wants to register for an exam. And there's a tab for Education USA Advising. And they can register for our services. And even students who are not located in the 3 main cities, we're happy to hold phone sessions with them. And some of our events we hold so that they can view them remotely as well.
That's really great. Thank you once again to join us. जी तो नाजरीन, आपने प्रोग्राम देखा जिसमें मिस कैथी का कहना था आज हमने बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चंस को हाईलाइट किया, जिसके ऊपर डिस्कस किया। इम्पॉर्टेंटली यूएस के अंदर किस तरह से स्कॉलरशिप्स लिए जा सकते हैं, किस तरह से फाइनेंशियल एड के लिए अप्लाई किया जा सकता है और कैसे यूनिवर्सिटीज़ को सेलेक्ट करना चाहिए यूएस एजुकेशन के लिए। तो इन तमाम सवालात के जवाबात होपफुली आपको मिल गए होंगे। अपने फीडबैक से ज़रूर आगाह कीजिएगा। अगले प्रोग्राम में एक नए गेस्ट और नई एपिसोड्स के साथ हाजिर होंगे। तब तक के लिए इजाज़त दीजिए। अल्लाह हाफिज़।